required, the reason, and then the effect. You wanna make sure the effect. Now, if you're leaving, and you don't know, you can put pending, and somebody else can fill that in, okay, but you need to communicate that, okay? Here we go, if somebody's leaving, okay,
Right.
the medication, you should give it to somebody who's capable, okay? Now, you should have some documentation around Mary Smith's daughter can take the meds,
Right.
okay, or whatever. You know, I've had sons who love their mother's Percocet. And you better give mother Percocet, because I know she takes that, okay?
Yeah.
That happens, but make sure that you, whoever you're giving it to is responsible,
Right.
okay? And you sign off on that. Always check with, you know, make sure
So
supervisors
you
know
don't
what
sign
you're
your
doing.
name, you just put leave of absence.
I would put LOA,
Yeah,
leave
okay.
of absence, or out of facility, however whatever your facility does.
We just had that
Different folks
question
do.
come up, that's
Yeah.
why I had to ask.
Just have to document that they're gone,
Right.
so that, and meds given to responsible party,
Mhm.
okay? Any side effects, obviously, you wanna look at that. Any medication errors, we talked about reporting those and doing all of those things. We don't need to talk about that. Talk about infection control, and I can sum up infection control with the first statement: wash your hands. I mean, really, it is so key to everything we do. But we'll talk about hand washing, universal precautions, and some other things, and kind of wrap it up. The simplest thing you can do is wash your hands, and wash and wash and wash. I told you when I'm not a germ freak at all. I'm probably just the opposite of being a
I
germ
am.
freak.
My skin's
Okay.
coming off.
When I was in the hospital, when I was laying in the hospital with an open wound, I thought, I'm gonna get MRSA. I'm definitely gonna get MRSA. And I became a germ freak.
Scary.
I went through so much hand sanitizer laying in that hospital, I can't tell you. But it's true. Just keep your hands washed. You know, and the key is, assume everything's contaminated. When you wash your hands, don't touch the sink. You know, work your hands into a lather, and I think we say 15 seconds, okay? 2 happy birthdays or whatever it is, whatever it is. A few years ago, more than a few now, when antibacterial soaps came out, everybody said, oh, I don't have to do it. Well, the whole key to washing your hands is the mechanical nature of it. That's what works, okay? Even if you're using all the antibacterial in the world, if you're not doing it for 15 seconds and washing and washing and washing, it's key,
Didn't
okay?
they prove that antibacterial is the same as regular soap?
Well, because unless you, it's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all around the mechanical nature of
But is
washing your hands.
sanitizing the same as hand washing?
Yeah, here's the answer to that. Yes and no. Okay.
Depends
You
on what
can use
I don't like the
no. Here's the
sanitizer.
deal. Here's the deal with sanitizer. Okay. And I learned this when I studied for this class, is that you can use sanitizer twice, and the third time you have to wash your hands. Okay, so it's effective if you use it 2 times in between washing. It'll work. It's
I don't
better-
like to
it's,
use it,
again,
I
it's
just-
better than nothing.
Yeah.
But it does
I'd rather wash
work.
my hands all the
Okay.
time.
So and that's the key around that. Okay.
Mhm.
Anytime you have universal precautions in your environment, you don't see it much. Most if they're sick like that, they're not going to stay here. We're going to ship them most parts, but I just make sure if there's any universal precautions that you're using gloves, that you're changing gloves between residents. I mean, I saw somebody wash a pair of gloves once. I said, "What are you doing? You throw them away. They're 3 cents a piece." I mean, so you make sure you're doing that. New set of gloves between residents and those kind of things. You're doing eye drops, put gloves on. Okay. You come anytime you're getting close to mucus tissue, put gloves on. Okay. Management, when people have infectious disease, lots of fluids. It's really key. Separate, if you can, healthy from infected folks. If you can, encourage folks that are sick not to go into common areas if you can, so you don't spread it on. I mean, it's such close quarters in most of our buildings that once a bug goes through, a bug goes through. I mean, it's tough to do. Again, remind the residents to wash. Post any notices if you don't want visitors coming. If you know there's a huge outbreak, hold off people from coming in. I mean, that's easy for me to say, but just make sure that you try to keep people separated during that time. Okay? Infectious waste, you don't really deal with it that much, but make sure it's closed in the resident's room, gloves and gowns if you're doing that, but it really doesn't apply a whole lot to your environment. Disease, and this is more for administration, they have to report any outbreaks to the city and to the state. Immunization, make sure that if you're immunizing for flu that you're documenting that. Pneumonia vaccine is really good. Pneumonia is a killer with our folks. Let's talk a little bit about causes of infection, effects and transmission, and then we'll kind of wrap it up. Okay? 4 types of infections that we can have: virus, bacterial, yeast, and parasites, okay? There's no treatment for viral infection, okay? If you get a virus, it's gonna take 7 days to go away. I mean, that's just the way it is. You can't give anything to do it, just supportive stuff. We can kill bacteria, we can kill yeast, and we can kill parasites, but we can't kill virus, okay? There's just nothing to do. So when somebody gets a viral pneumonia, you just gotta treat the symptoms, okay? It's tough with kids. Kids bump 105 real fast, and it's always virus, okay? Here's a couple rules around whether it's bacterial, whether it's virus. You see a fever with both, but typically if it's a virus, you'll see a spike in temperature, usually 102, 103, sometimes up to 105 in kids. You wanna make sure if you get a kid that way that they're not seizing, and that's usually a virus. If it's 101.5 or something like that, it's usually bacterial, okay? With a virus, you're gonna see usually a really painful, a sharp pain in the back. You'll see just an ache in there. That's usually an indication of virus. You're always tired, and you know, you've all had fevers. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You get destruction, tissue, and inflammation, you just feel like crap. So, we transmit infections several ways. Airborne, sneezing obviously, bloodborne, AIDS, waterborne, polio, foodborne, food poisoning. Okay, here's my quiz, okay, see if you get it, okay? What's the #1 food for food poisoning? I've taught this to 5 new people, I've had 1 person get it, and you all should get it now.
Chicken.
Wrong,
Eggs?
wrong.
Not eggs?
Eggs, no,
Cheese.
Hamburger.
no,
I know this, I had to take a
you
food
won't get
safety
it,
class.
you won't get it.
#1 food?
It's melon.
Oh,
Melon.
antelope.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You know what I did?
And we just had deaths from it. Okay, here's the reason. Okay, here's the reason. Okay, when you think about a cantaloupe, okay, and how the outside and the scales, what happens is people don't clean them right. And so you take a knife, and when you draw that knife through, you're sucking the bugs right through the cantaloupe. Okay, I told you my diet is crap. Okay, I literally don't eat fruit. I can't tell you the last time I had a piece of fruit. Okay, I just
Eat a grape.
don't. No, and I especially despise melon.
Ooh,
I don't know why, okay, that's just my prejudice. Well, we start facilities, we don't really lose facilities, we really try to work hard to keep our business. But I had a home that was part of a national group, and they had a national contract, so they had to switch pharmacies. And the administrator felt horrible about it. You know, she says, it's nothing to do with your service, it's being dictated to me, I have to do it. So the day they were leaving, she sent me one of those edible fruit things. Everybody that
somebody
works
else
for
set
me
it up.
knows how much I despise fruit. They come parading into my office with this thing. I get that thing out of here. So they take it out, and it's out in the pharmacy. And between 1 and 2 in the morning that night, 18 folks that worked for us
Oh,
got
jeez.
sick. One of them ended up in the hospital. And I said, you know, the moral to the story is if you eat melon on a stick, you deserve to puke. Okay, you know. But the bottom line, now we, you know, from the defense of the people that made it, we probably left it out all afternoon, and you know, all of those things, and we didn't do it. But melon's the number one food for.
Well, I've read
food
you should
poisoning.
even wash a banana before you peel it because you can transfer
Sure.
the bacteria onto
Yeah,
the
that
skin.
not so
Yeah,
much with
also-
smooth skin like banana or
Right.
the other kind. What's the other
Right.
kind of melon there?
Honeydew.
Honeydew. Yeah,
I
not
was
as bad.
told
I don't even know.
I was told
Yeah.
too, I have a young son, he's only a year and a half, and they said, don't feed him grapes,
Mhm.
strawberries, blueberries, it's the most pesticide.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, you
Hard
can get
to
stuff
wash.
with it. Grapes will
Really,
choke.
really hard
They
to
said,
It's
wash.
don't
choke on
feed it
grapes,
to him
too.
ever, it can kill a
Anyway.
toddler.
So-
Really, huh?
So that's another bit of trivia, you know, you can go along with you next time. Nobody gets that, and I'm amazed because
I should
like
know.
18 people died recently
That's right.
with melon stuff. So
Well, they say now they're safe to eat, but you just
okay.
hesitant.
Yeah, there is. Don't eat them. So, okay. Preventing infection again, hand washing, basic hygiene. No, there was a funny story not funny, but last year one of the schools in the southern part of the state had a staph outbreak. I don't remember where it was, but they closed the school for 2 days. They sterilized the locker rooms and everything else, and I said to my wife, I looked at her, I said, you know,
Broke out the melon.
two kids are gonna go back into that room with dirty hands, and the place is gonna be contaminated again, so you've gotta wash your hands. No eating or drinking from somebody else. I coached baseball for a lot of years, and I lost half of my Little League All-Star team one year because they were all drinking from the same bottles and throwing up outside the dugout. So next year, nobody shares. So if you got young kids in sports, bring your own water bottle.
Not only that, you can get cavities if you're,
Oh, I never thought about that.
if you
Mhm.
share a straw with your child
Sure.
and you've ever had a cavity,
Really?
you can give your child cavities.
I didn't
What?
know
That's
that.
news to
I've
me.
never had a
How
cavity
is
in my
that
life, but my
possible?
husband
I didn't know.
has.
I've
And they
never
told,
heard
the
of
doctor
that.
told us when
That's
I had
odd.
my son.
I'd like
do
to see a
not
study
share.
from that. I don't
Yeah.
understand any rationale behind that, but
Maybe
anyway.
it's a bacteria
Um,
or something.
Cover your mouth when you cough. Obviously, a friend of mine, they're teaching their girls in school how to cough appropriately. They cough inside and all of that.
Yeah.
Tissue, make sure you're throwing tissue. Little old ladies love to put their tissue.
Oh,
Okay, tell them to throw the stinking
Forever
stuff
tell them
away.
away. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll
Throw it
give you a
away,
box.
okay?
Throw
We
it
want to
out.
prevent that, okay?
Save them for later.
But they
Protective
leave it on the
equipment should
table.
be, exactly, so.
It's
anyway,
later.
That's all we do to protect and
Like
do all
swallow
that, so. Again, if you're sick, it's easy for me to say, don't come to work if you're sick. I tell my people that,
Not so
don't
easy
come to
when
work
you're
if you're sick.
If I was
They're
sick,
gonna
I
give
can't come to work.
No, but I mean,
Yeah, can I use
Lenny said.
use common sense. Use common sense, okay? You don't want my drivers driving in your building if they got the flu, okay? I wouldn't send
Oh,
them,
that's right
okay?
too, yeah.
Yeah, I
We'll get
wouldn't,
them
they
sick.
know, we don't, if you're sick, we don't send you out, okay? So,
But you get penalized if you call in sick.
I understand, it's a tough thing, but if
I've
you're
worked
So
really
you
sick,
have to.
the worst
go
thing
to
you can
work.
do is give it to everybody else in the building,
Uh,
including your residents,
Yes,
so,
that's what usually happens.
Usually people who are really sick, it's understandable, it's the people who, we won't go to the person outside. But if you're really sick, don't go there, sorry about that.
If you're really
Okay.
sick, you usually
So
can't
make
even
sure
get
you
out
do,
of bed.
okay?
No choice.
And that's the end of my show, so.
Very
Any
nice.
questions? I finished 14
job.
minutes early, so
Thank
any
you very much.
questions?
Good job.
Thanks.
Anything I can do? I hope you learned something, so.
Very nice.
Thank
Even if
you.
it's just this.
Every time we see her, we're gonna be like. Yeah, that all makes
Oh.
sense
Can I
now.
have
That's
some of
those
those
two
books?
things.
Just for your mom, right?
Yeah,
I guess we should have
Wait,
thought, I never
Yeah.
thought,
thank you.
maybe an ear thing, her equilibrium
Yeah.
or something, but.
It could be that
I
too,
wouldn't
but
think
most
that.
likely if she's on Depakote, it ain't
Yeah,
good.
I wouldn't.
Do you mind if I
think
take
that.
this?
What's gonna happen to her when she gets off of it?
We can replace
Oh,
our
God.
air conditioner.
Is Kelsey the person who's not here? You're Kelsey.
No, I'm
Kelsey. Ashley's
Can we
not
keep the
here.
pen
Ashley's
too,
not
or
Okay.
we give the pens back? Or
No,
we
you
say
can
to
keep the
Karen?
pens. Marjorie,
These are good pens.
Marjorie, thank you.
Nancy Blake.
Rita has
I'm
a
right
cup
here.
of our pens in her room. I saw
Thank
this
you.
morning.
Colleen?
She takes all the pens.
That's pretty. That's
I
a
guess
pretty.
Candy. Huh? Pretty smart guy. Elaine?
She
was
went
downstairs.
downstairs.
That's for her. Teresa?
All we need is a frame.
Who's Lynn?
That's pretty.
Now I can put it with my serve stick.
Very nice.
Again, make sure you make a copy of that for your administrative.
Yes,
but keep
we
it
all-
too.
Okay.
Either I can take them all and give them back to you after I make copies, or you all can go make a copy and take the original, whatever you want.
Here, go in. Stop this thing.
You'll leave it